Hello and good evening. Welcome to Isolation with Andrew Pugsley. This is my weekly live stream show coming from my apartment here in East London. Every single week, I have an amazing guest from somewhere in the world of improvisation, and I and they together improvise an entire 30-minute short film from nothing. Everything you're about to see is completely made up on the spot, of course, and it's going to be based on the suggestions that you give us in the Facebook comments feed. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you for tuning in. And thank you for those of you who've tuned in every single week so far. It's really wonderful to see people coming back and enjoying the show every week. Now, in the face of incredible technical challenges, I think I'm sort of 50% confident that joining me all the way from Alberta, Canada, is none other than Mark Meir. Mark, can you hear me, and are you there?
I am here. I can hear you. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, on both counts. Everybody watching at home, you don't know how big a challenge, how big a triumph this is based on the last 10 minutes.
Here we are, though. Here we are on the internet, ready to improvise. Fantastic.
How are you doing, Mark? How is Canada?
Canada is much the same as it always was, except there's a pandemic going on, but that's going on everywhere.
Yeah, I have heard one or two things about that recently, actually. I should probably check some of the news out. Also joining us from rather closer to home, but often with a much worse internet connection, it's none other than Duncan Walsh-Atkins, who is joining us over the airwaves. Duncan, can you give us a little tinkle? Beautiful. Lovely. Duncan will be doing some live underscore as we do the show this evening. Now,
Andrew, I should mention that I cannot hear Duncan, if in fact he was making noise just then.
That is an interesting and upsetting part of tonight's live stream. Okay, what we will do is attempt to fix that during the show. And if not, as long as the people at home, as long as you can hear Duncan, then maybe we can muddle through. Yes, let's see. Actually, how we get on with that.
Actually, Andrew, that works out perfectly because that leaves me off the hook for singing.
There we go. Sadly, you won't hear the dulcet tones of Mark Meir singing this evening. I can hear Duncan playing. I think we've almost got what we need, but what we need are some wonderful suggestions from our Facebook feed. So you can put anything you like. You can put some character names. You can put some events. You can put some words. You can put anything you like in the Facebook feed, and we will use some or none of them as we go along. Mark, is there anything you're looking to see this evening? What might inspire you as we go along?
Oh, yes. One of our very first suggestions from Mr. Jonathan Hugh Buxton mentions that tonight's episode is a fantasy about wizards and dragons. Specifically, the dragon is called Brian. I would like to look at that.
Fantastic. Fantasy with dragons called Brian. That's fantastic. We haven't had a sort of fantasy on the show so far. That's amazing.
Well, as you can see from my background, I'm well equipped to tackle that genre.
Yeah, absolutely. What else do we have in the feed here? We have a character called Sebastian, mashed potatoes, a lush bath bomb. Yeah.
I'm seeing beetroot, pantaloons, amaretto. Okay.
Yes, fantastic. I've just discovered here that I can put these suggestions on the screen as we go. There, Alice Dixie says with tigers. There's a new thing I've started to play with. You learn something new every week. Okay, we've also got elks, funfair, thunderstorm, feisty. All of these words are terrific. There we are, Duncan. I've accidentally put Duncan on screen there. There we go. Yeah, you're not meant to see Duncan until the end of the show, ladies and gents. There was a little sneak preview. Go away, Duncan. We're almost ready, ladies and gents, to start this evening's performance of Isolation. Let's have a last little look in the feed. Fountain pens.
Edward, Benedict, Forrest. Yes.
A man with gills.
Ooh, a burping parakeet as a sidekick. All these things.
We're all quite sort of fantasy and mythological, it seems, this evening. A lot of fantastical suggestions. Great. Okay,
very well.
Duncan, if you would be kind enough to start this evening's overture, then I think it's time for Isolation. And I summon.
Who dares summon the wizard Amaretto Pantaloons?
It is I, Sebastian of Gills.
Sebastian, times must be dire for you to contact me.
Yes, I'm afraid the situation is not pretty, Great Wizard. It's not pretty at all.
No, indeed. The Dark Lord rampages across the lands. Villages are burned by his hordes and by his dragons.
Yes, and none more fierce than that head dragon himself, Brian.
Brian has wakened from his ages-long slumber and now serves the Dark One. There is no hope. All has been extinguished.
Oh, Great Wizard. I thought I might come to you seeking some counsel, seeking perhaps some hope, seeking perhaps some way through this, and yet your message is already really pretty pessimistic.
Sebastian, hearken unto my words. There has been a prophecy penned ages ago, and you shall play an important role. I believe that you are the chosen one spoken of in legend.
The chosen one, Great Wizard?
Yes. Oh yes, the chosen one, as I said. He who shall free Brian from the yoke of evil and turn him back to the path of righteousness.
No, but Great Wizard, I admit I did summon you and over this mystical projection, and I sought your counsel, but I'm not a hero. I work in IT.
Ah, you have refused the call to adventure, as all true heroes do.
No. That's clearly because I'm not a hero. I'm refusing the call to adventure because I'm not a hero. You understand? You can't take that as proof of me actually being a hero.
That is exactly what a hero would say. Your reticence proves it beyond all doubt.
Well, wait, because I'm reticent now. I mean, well, okay, then what if I say I shall take on this mantle and I shall prevail even if it kills me in the process?
He has accepted the call to adventure as written in the prophecy.
Look, Great Wizard, I've become accustomed to a certain way of life here. Why? Our kingdom hardly looks like a fantasy one at all. We buy clothes from boutique stores. If it were not for the dragons populating this kingdom, well, the time of heroes and quests would be all but gone entirely.
You speak true, Sebastian. We have grown soft and forgotten the old ways. It falls to you.
It falls to me?
Indeed.
Great Wizard, how can I, but a humble IT manager, sub-manager if I'm honest, how can I rise to the challenge of dragons and quests and slaying?
I shall not send you into this battle unarmed. You shall have companions. This tiger is named Cecil. this burping parakeet is named Dolores. They shall be your boon companions in this journey.
Okay, a tiger named Cecil and a burping parakeet named Dolores. Very well, Grand Wizard. And I guess I should check in with you over the teleconference, yes?
Yes, feel free to check in whenever necessary.
Okay, is Skype good for you or is Zoom better? Because, each platform has its own sort of advantages and disadvantages, really.
I've been having some trouble with Zoom lately. Maybe we should FaceTime this.
Oh, okay. Yes, well, actually, I get 3 minutes, so it doesn't matter either way.
Or we could use the app we're currently on. I'm not sure if you have some sort of sponsorship deal with them.
No, never use this app. Whatever you do, it only causes trouble. Very well, Great Wizard. Since I have no choice, I accept the challenge, and I shall tame Dragon Brian.
Yes, go now. The thunderstorm which is currently raging will hide you from the Dark One's scrying.
Wish me luck, Grand Wizard. I go.
I wish you luck, and also take with you this strawberry jam.
Oh, yes?
Yes, strawberry jam. Strawberry jam. You'll need
Strawberry
to eat
jam,
something.
yes. Sure.
Yes. Keep your glucose.
No, very good idea. Sorry, I was just backing away sort of from this corporal plane to sever the psychic connection, but yes, okay, strawberry jam.
Take the jam before you go.
Okay. Thank you for the jam. Great Wizard, I go. Great Wizard, I summon thee.
Ah, Sebastian. How goes the quest?
Well, I had a couple of questions. I hope it's not too early to ask.
Yes. Go on. I shall answer as I may.
Well, thank you, Great Wizard.
How are Cecil and Dolores doing?
Well, I mean, the trouble is, Cecil, he's lovely. I mean, he has a heart of gold, the poor thing.
Yes.
Absolutely
Yes.
lovely tiger. I, though, am terrified of him. Quite frankly.
He is a tiger. He is a tiger, you understand. Yes.
Yes. And now, I rather thought, Great Wizard, that you might have, I don't know, given me a tiger that was sort of magically bound to me and willing to obey my every command, and not one that tries to eat me every single second of the day.
Yeah, it would not be proper to interfere with the natural order of things.
Right, I see, but you did give me a burping parakeet, not, can I say, a characteristic traditionally associated with any birds of that genus.
No, Dolores has quite a few gastrointestinal issues.
So I guess then, Great Wizard, my first question is how on earth are they meant to be helpful to me? Surely they're just hindering my path.
Ah, but have you tried negotiation?
Negotiating with a tiger and a talking parakeet.
Burping parakeet. Dolores cannot speak. She can only burp. However, Cecil is capable of speech.
Cecil is capable of speech.
Yes, though he is highly disagreeable.
Well, this changes everything, Grand Wizard. Everything.
Are you backing away slowly now? Are we ending the call? I don't want to interrupt you again.
No. Yes, I'll back away. Thank you. I wasn't going. To be honest, I had a bit more, but why don't we take this opportunity? I think the rhythm is sort of, I mean.
Well, no, it's just that you seem to sort of go up at the end there as if you repeated something as if that was the end of the call.
No, I guess you're right. My bad, really. You've been most helpful, Grand Wizard. Most helpful? Now, Cecil, I've been told you can speak English.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good. Now, stay steady, Cecil. Stay steady. Okay. Now, I am your master.
I'm not sure I like the sounds of that.
Look, stay back. 2 meters. 2 meters, they say, Cecil, is a very good distance.
All right.
Now, I have a very, very important quest to battle the Dragon Brian and free him from the yoke of tyranny, okay? Right? That's a pretty full-time job, and I need your cooperation if we're going to achieve it, okay?
Oh, now you want my cooperation? Up to this point, you haven't said word one to me.
I wasn't to know you spoke English, was I?
Well, this is a magical realm. Of course, one assumes that animals can talk.
I am just, need I say again, an IT sub-manager. How am I supposed to know the way of these quests?
I don't have to take this. I am royalty among my people. Some call me the Tiger King.
You're a Tiger King? Wow, that's really quite extraordinary. Have you had any experience with dragons?
Dragons? Oh, yeah, they're bad news, I'll tell you that. Is that where we're going? We're going to go fight a dragon?
We have to free him from the yoke of tyranny, yes. For the yoke of evil.
Well, I don't know anything about yokes, but this sounds dangerous, even for someone of my persuasion. Tiger persuasion is what I mean.
Well, yes. I'm afraid we might not all live to tell the tale, Cecil.
Very well. Where is this dragon?
I think it may lie yonder. You see that path of burnt villages?
Oh yeah, I've been to yonder before. That's a great town. There's some very nice boutiques.
Well then, you can show me the way.
Yeah. Here, climb upon my striped back.
Thank you, Cecil.
And let that burping parakeet perch upon your finger. There you go, Dolores.
I guess who's a pretty birdie?
She's a pretty birdie, that's who.
Thank you, Cecil. We'll get through this somehow.
Sure we will.
Halt! Who dares to approach the gates of yonder?
It is I, Sebastian of the Guilds.
Ah, I have heard of this man with gills.
I'm on a secret quest. Sorry?
I was about to ask you your business, but apparently it is a secret quest.
Sorry, I meant to say a sacred quest. That was just a slip of the tongue. I wouldn't get very far telling people I'm on a secret quest, would I? That's sort of giving the game away.
And this sacred quest of yours, what does it entail?
I come to free the dragon Brian from the yoke of his evil and spare the people of this kingdom from his wrath. For I am a sub-assistant IT analyst, and I shall prevail in this life or the next.
An IT analyst. Good, good. We have had many issues as of late. You may enter.
I've heard you take payment mainly in orange Smarties.
This is correct. It is the coin of the realm.
Well, thankfully Cecil, my tiger, gave me the heads up on that, and I had plenty to spare. Here, take and spend as you will.
Ah, good, good. You may enter, but beware.
Just before I go, is there any piece of advice you could give me? Is there any help I can have on this quest? I'm feeling so out of my depth.
It is said that Brian does not take kindly to advice. It is always best to couch things in terms that makes it seem like it was his idea.
Okay, yes, that's quite good people skills generally. Oh, mysterious gatekeeper. Very well. And now is the time. Now is my moment. Now I shall enter the village of yonder with my sacred, not secret quest. And I know when I see Brian, I shall pass his vicious test. And though everything is against me in this mighty, strange land, I have my tiger and parrot and a sword in my hand. And a wizard of mighty advice, I know that you'll stay with me. And I will do my best to keep you happy and this land free. And if ever there was a duty and a moment for this IT guy, then I know the path of righteousness has opened up and my time is now. O'Brien. Oh, great Brian, destroyer of villages, fire-breathing foe of all men, conqueror of the Carthaginians, scourge of the Rapsonians, and IT Guy's bane. I, reluctantly, because apparently that's just the path of a hero, face you on behalf of everybody in this land. And I look me eye to eye and see your frightening visage face to face.
You have done well, human called Sebastian. You have fought your way through the many challenges of my lair. Truly, you're the master of IT. The IT in this case standing for Incredible Terrors. You have bested the skeleton men of Scarthanox. You figured your way past the room of a million puzzles. And finally you stand before me, Brian.
You speak eloquently, O'Brien. I see you're not anybody to trifle with. Look, I have journeyed through all of the terrors you've just outlined, most of which are unsuitable to display on a simple video conferencing app, but are best described in hindsight. And I stand before you, and I implore you to leave our people alone. Can't you just give us a damn break, Brian?
The choice is not mine. I am enslaved to the Dark Lord.
The Dark Lord Halitosis.
Indeed, even now he rides upon my back.
That's right, fool. All of your struggles have been for naught. The dragon is mine, and shall continue to be mine unless you best me in a game of my choice.
Very well, Dark Lord Halitosis. What is thy game?
Dungeons and Dragons!
Wait! Dungeons? Hey, you don't know you're talking to an IT guy here, don't you?
But I didn't know he was with in an IT. Very well! I accept your challenge. IT Master or no, you will never defeat me, for I am a Dungeon Master!
Okay, Halitosis, give it your best shot.
All right, I'll just climb down here. Very well, Sebastian. You wish to test your mettle against me? You
I
find
do.
yourself standing in a 10 by 10 room. There is an orc and a chest. What do you do?
I check the chest for traps and make friends with the orc.
Roll a charisma check.
Very well. I'm rolling my d20. It's a 20.
That's a critical success. The orc likes the cut of your jib and opens the chest, giving you all of its gold.
Ha ha! I search the next room.
All right. There are 2 orcs and 2 chests in this room.
2 orcs and 2 chests. Okay, well, I'll send the first orc in to make friends with the other 2. And I'll open both chests because I think you're exactly the sort of person who'd do the same thing 3 times in a row.
You now have 3 chests of gold and 3 buddies who happen to be orcs.
Very well. I pay the orcs with some of my gold to keep them on my side and generally form a little network operation that the three of us can really start to build out some systems to roll forward from there on.
Ah! You defeated my two-room dungeon. Never before have I faced such humiliation.
I'm sorry, Halitosis. The time has come. Take Brian. Take him out of our kingdom. And never again darken the doors of our land. Do you hear me?
Very well. I shall go. But I'll be back one day, Sebastian. And not all of your IT will save you then.
I'll be waiting for you. I'll be waiting for you.
Sebastian! Sebastian, you have freed me from the yoke of evil, as written in the prophecy.
Well, when you think about it, it was really rather your idea, Brian. I mean, you were the one who mentioned your Dark Lord, and you were one who suggested that I ought to play him at a game of his choosing. It was very much down to you, Brian, in the end.
Well, now that you put it that way, I guess I really am the hero of this story.
So maybe if you wouldn't mind, you'd leave our villages and townspeople alone for the next millennia or so and let us carry on building a contemporary network-enabled society.
You have my word.
And off he flies.
Sebastian! Sebastian!
Great Wizard! I can see you coming through on the video conferencing Misty Portal.
It is I, Ambrosia Pantaloons. How goes the quest?
Great Wizard, I beat the Dark Lord Halitosis at his two-room dungeon. I freed Brian from the yoke of his evil and got him to think it was his idea to leave us alone for a millennia at least.
You have done very well, Sebastian. Very well indeed.
It was Cecil that, led the way into this. Well, he just provided map support, to be honest. And now I think about it, Dolores was no use at all.
Where are Cecil and Dolores? It appears that Cecil has consumed Dolores.
Ah, yes. Sorry about that. I rather had my attention elsewhere.
There are casualties in every war, my friend. And this war has been well fought indeed. Now then, all of the kingdom's riches are yours for the asking. What would be your reward?
I can really name anything I like. Great Wizard, anything at all, and it shall be mine.
Anything you like. The sky is the limit. Go beyond the sky if you wish. There is no limit.
Well, I'm rather spoiled by the choice. Let me consult the Great Comments feed. See what the people want, Great Wizard. See what they're clamoring for, and I shall.
Yes.
I shall do it.
We can offer you anything from strawberry gin to a magic 8-ball to some catnip, or perhaps Carol Baskin. The choice is yours.
A sword, soap, toilet roll, biscuits, and yet I know, most precious of all, that which is worth more than money alone is impossible to purchase in any market up and down this kingdom. Hand sanitizer, Great Wizard.
Yes, you have chosen wisely. Take this industrial-sized tub of hand sanitizer. Use it to wash your hands, scrub them, remove all germs.
Thank you, Great Wizard. I'm honored by this gift.
And in addition, this roll of 3-ply loo roll. It is yours to do with as you will.
Oh, great wizard, this is payment far too rich for my humble story.
Indeed, but you have earned it.
Great wizard, do all heroes feel like this? Quite unequipped to begin a story that seems so out of one's comfort zone, so reluctant to take the adventure, so thrown into the storm, and then well, at journey's end, so empty, longing for the days of excitement that now seem passed by. Is it always this way, great wizard?
Oh yes, it's part of the hero's journey. Beowulf felt the same.
Well, at least I'm in auspicious company, great wizard. I think I'd like to return to the quiet life now, if that's quite all right.
Yes, take your hand sanitizer and your loo roll and return to the idyllic pleasure of your village.
I shall. And great wizard, perhaps we could check in every now and again on Skype or Zoom or some other platform.
Yes, FaceTime is working well for me, as I mentioned. Go now, Sebastian, with the blessings of the Council of Wizards.
Thank you, great wizard. It's been quite a journey.
Yes, and do remember to take Cecil with you, for his fate is now bound to yours, even though he doesn't usually do much that's helpful.
I shall look after him, I promise. I might not leave him near any of my pets, given what he did to Dolores.
Oh, no. It's probably best to put him in some kind of enclosure in your back garden. Then you might charge admission for people to come and see him. Perhaps eventually someone will make a documentary about you.
Great wizard, you are wise indeed. And now, I think I would like to fade from this mystical portal, back into the obscurity from which I came. A changed man. Not quite the person who started this story. What an arc. What a hero's journey. Okay, that's the end of our story, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Mark.
And thank you. Thank you very much for having me, Andrew. And funnily enough, I now have to go play Dungeons & Dragons.
Amazing. There we go. Dungeons and Dragons was obviously in the air this evening for you. Lovely. It's the first time we've attempted to do a fantasy story on the show. Hopefully, the suspension of disbelief was with our audience.
I hope so. And thanks once again for having me. Always a pleasure to improvise with you.
Oh, such a pleasure. Let's just bring Duncan on the screen as well. Duncan. Lovely music there, Duncan,
Hi.
as always. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, lovely. Duncan is at a lag of about 10 seconds or so. Considering the quite monumental technical challenges we had just before the show started, I am delighted and very impressed that we all stayed pretty much in communication for the entirety of that show. Lovely stuff. Thank you so much to Duncan. Thank you so much to Mark for joining me. And thank you for watching. It's so wonderful to see all your comments coming up. We really, really hope you enjoyed the show. If you did enjoy the show, there's some information in the feed about you can come and support my Patreon. And thank you so much to everyone who has signed up to support my Patreon and help me carry on creating this kind of stuff and all of the there's lots of other video content you can see on there as well that I'm working on at the moment. There's a little link down there. If you might have seen this in a theatre and might have thrown a couple of quid towards it, then do feel free to follow the PayPal link there, and you can donate a couple of quid. We know times are hard for everybody at the moment, so absolutely no pressure. But if you happen to have a couple spare and want to give that a go, you're very welcome to. Mark, you're doing some live streams with out there with Dynasty out there in Canada. Do you know how can people watch you do your thing online?
Well, Dynasty, the live improvised soap opera, has moved online during the pandemic, and we are putting out weekly shows on our YouTube channel. We'll also be doing a live stream as part of Canada Performs on Monday the 27th at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, which I think will be quite late at night for you folks. But in addition to that, Rapid Fire Theater is going to be doing improvised Dungeons & Dragons sometime next month. We're just getting that all together now. So you can look forward to more dragons and talking tigers and burping parakeets.
Fantastic. Yes, if your appetite has been whetted for the fantastical improv, check that out. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. You can tune in this time next week when I'll have another amazing guest with me. Thank you so much. That is the end of our show, and good night. Thank you.